Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. Today we will read Shakespeare's comedy All's Well That Ends Well. Okay guys, take your pen and paper and just note down the important information regarding this play. All's Well That Ends Well is a play by William Shakespeare. It is believed to have been written between 1604 to 1605 and it was published in 1623. The play is a comedy, but it also contains elements of drama and romance. Now, Shakespeare's primary inspiration of the plot, that means the source of the play. The source of the play is from William Painter's collection of stories, The Palace of Pleasure, which is the English translation of Giletta of Narbonne. Giletta of Narbonne. It is a story in Boccaccio's collection of folk tales called Decameron. So this is the source of Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well. You have to keep it in mind. Okay. All's Well That Ends Well has often been called one of Shakespeare's problem plays also. Again, you can call it dark comedies. A category that usually includes measure for measure and Troilus and Cressida. Okay, now we'll have a quick summary of this play. All's Well That Ends Well opens at the palace in Roussillon, a region in France that borders Spain and the Mediterranean Sea. So the opening setting is Roussillon. Okay, the setting will change. But now for the opening scene it is Roussillon, and here the Countess of Roussillon mourns her recently deceased husband and the imminent departure of her son Bertram, the Count of Roussillon, who has been summoned to Paris by the king. Now the cause of Countess's mourning is for the serious reason of the death of her husband. On the one hand, it is death of her husband. And after the death of her husband, Bertram, who is a young person, usually in his 20s, he became the count. Now he is called by King of France. King of France was a good friend of the late Count of Roussillon. Okay, do you understand the point? King of France was a friend of late Count of Roussillon. Okay. Now after the death of the Count of Roussillon, his son Bertram became the next count. Now when King of France, who himself is suffering from a disease, severe disease, he calls Bertram out of his affection for his old friend's son. Okay, who is now his friend is dead. So now Bertram is preparing for France. This is the opening scene of the play. Okay, it is clear. Now the Countess and her friend, the elderly Lord Lefeu, it will be somewhere I find it is Lefeu, discuss the king's poor health. Who is the king? The king is here, the King of France. The King of France has also become very old and he is also suffering from a severe disease. And lament that Gerard de Narbonne. Note down this name because he is very important character. Though he is also dead here, he is important because he is a famous court physician. Okay. Now he is dead, but his daughter is Helena. His daughter Helena, she knows something of the treatment of her father. Now Helena tried to cure the King of France with the prescription of her father. So, though her father is dead, Helena try to cure the King of France with his father's prescription. Now what happened? Helena is in love with Bertram, the Countess's son, but he does not return her affections. However, Bertram's mother, the Countess of Roslin, thinks that Helena would make a good match for her son and encourages her to pursue him. Helena follows Bertram to Paris, where he is serving in the court of the King of France. So Helena, who is the daughter of the deceased physician, is in love with Bertram. Bertram does not reciprocate the love, but Bertram's mother, Countess of Roslin, she likes Helena as a match for her son. Now Helena follows Bertram to Paris, where he is serving in the court of King of France. There she uses her skills as a doctor to cure the king of a serious illness. I have already told you that she has a prescription left by her father. And as a reward, the king grants her permission to choose any man in the court as her husband. Okay. When Helena went there, the king, at the very beginning, the king does not want to meet her because the king has tried all the medicines and all the eminent doctors from all over the world, and no one can cure him. But Helena promised, and Helena reinforced that I can do that, and if I cannot cure you, then you can give me death sentence. But if I can cure you, then I will ask for a husband of my choice. Okay, she chooses Bertram, but Bertram is shocked, and Bertram is reluctant to marry her, and instead he sets her a series of impossible tasks which he believes will prevent her from winning his love. And this I am going to discuss in the later part. Okay, what are the impossible tasks? We will discuss the theme of the play in details. Now, despite the obstacles that Bertram puts in her way, Helena finally manages to complete the task and win his heart. And in the end, Bertram realizes that he truly loves her and they are reunited in a happy ending. So, this is the brief summary of the play. Now, we will have a look at the detailed summary, the chronology of events, what happens one after another throughout the acts and scenes. The widowed Countess of Roslin takes leave of her son Bertram, who has been summoned to the court of France by the terminally ill king to be his ward. Okay, this is the very beginning scene that we have discussed already. After that, what happened? With him goes the Countess's old friend Lord Lefeu. So Bertram was not alone, but Countess's old friend Lord Lefeu also accompanied him in the court of France. Now, Helena, the daughter of the deceased physician Gerard de Narbonne, you have to remember this name. Okay, weeps. How the play is going on, we find Helena is weeping. But why Helena is weeping? Helena confesses that she is weeping not for her deceased father, but she is weeping for Bertram, who does not reciprocate her love, and at the same time he is going to France. And again she feels hopeless because of their social standard. Bertram is a count. On the other hand, Helena is a physician's daughter. Now, she is interrupted by Bertram's friend, Captain Parols. You have to remember this name also, because Captain Parol, there is so many stories about him. Now, next the Countess discovers Helena's love for Bertram. She considers Helena a good match for her son. Next, Helena reveals her plan to cure the king using one of her father's drugs, the prescription that father has left for her. As the lords leave for war, Bertram is angry at being forced to stay behind. Helena appears in disguise before the king and offers to cure him. She promises that if she fails, she is ready to accept death as her punishment. But if she succeeds, the king must grant her reward by allowing her to choose a husband of her own choice. The king is cured. Helena chooses Bertram as her husband, much to Bertram's disgust. He decides to run off to the Florentine Wars without consummating the marriage. Next, the Duke of Florence welcomes the French lords who have volunteered to fight. And who have volunteered to fight? Bertram. Bertram flees to Florence and there to avoid Helena. The Countess, Bertram sends a letter to his mother. The Countess reads Bertram's letter, telling her that he has run away. Helena reads a letter from Bertram, setting down impossible conditions for her to be his wife. Now, what were those impossible conditions? You have to remember this. Number 1, ring. Helena must have the ring of Bertram's hand, Bertram's finger. Okay. It is impossible because Bertram is wearing the ring. How Helena can get that? Next, number 2, Helena must have the son of Bertram. How can it happen if Bertram does not consummate the marriage? So, son, or you can not son, you can take it as child. So, these are the 2 conditions. Now, Helena arrives in Florence disguised as a pilgrim and lodges with a widow. She learns that Bertram has been trying to seduce the widow's daughter, Diana. You find something, there's something recurrent motif is in Shakespeare's comedy, Shakespeare's dramas, like disguise. The characters are so fond to take disguise, and again the ring, the theme of ring, changing of ring. Even we find it in Two Gentlemen of Verona. The exchange of ring and revelation through the ring is a recurrent motif. Ring and disguise, they are common thing in Shakespeare's dramas. Okay. Now Helena reveals herself as Bertram's wife. She pursues the woman to arrange a sexual encounter with Bertram, where she will secretly take Diana's place in the bedchamber. Okay. In the meantime, Bertram's friend Parols, I told you to remember this name, Parols, is captured. Suppose this is Parol, and Parol is captured by his own army people, the Florentine. They feign that they are enemy soldiers, but actually they are not enemy soldiers. They were his own group of soldiers, but they were suspicious against Parol. So they captured Parol and blindfolded him. Parol took them as enemy soldier and confessed everything, every secret that he knows about his colleague, about his co-fighters. So Parol's real character is exposed by this trick. That Parol is a vain person. Now, after the Parol scene, there is in the bedchamber scene, Bertram declares his love for Helena, mistaking her for Diana. She persuades him to give up his ring as a token of love, and in return, she gives him the ring offered by the king to her. Now, King of France offered Helena a ring when Helena cures him. So, that ring Helena gives to Bertram, and she asks for Bertram's ring. Now the condition 1 and 2 both are fulfilled, as Helena is with Bertram and Bertram takes her as Diana, and they make love, and also he gives her the ring. The wars are now over, and Bertram is planning to return to France, having been told that Helena is dead. Okay. So Bertram is very happy that Helena is dead and he plans to return to France. Now, the Countess grieves for the death of Helena, but she supports Lafayette's plan to marry Bertram to his daughter. Now, everyone take that Helena is dead, as Helena declares such. Makes the scene that she is dead. Everyone have to believe. So, everyone is unhappy. The Countess is unhappy because the Countess really loves Helena. But then the plan was that Lafayette has as a daughter, and with Lafayette's daughter, Bertram will be married. Countess give the confirmation. Now Bertram agrees to marry Lafayette's daughter. But when he is found to have Helena's ring, the king found that Helena's ring, that ring the king gave to Helena, that is in Bertram's hand, then the king accuses him of Helena's murder. Sorry for the mistake, everyone, it became Helena's murder. Helena comes back. Now Helena comes back in the scene to rescue Bertram from king's rage, to announce that she has met Bertram's conditions, and she explains everything with the support of Diana, and Bertram asks for forgiveness. Helena and Bertram reunited. Okay. Now have a look at the characters. Helena, the protagonist of the play, a young orphan lady who is the daughter of the recently deceased court physician Gerard de Narbonne. She is in love with Bertram, the son of the Countess of Roussillon, and is determined to win his heart. Number 1. Number 2. Bertram, the Count of Roussillon, a young count whose father is recently died. He is ambitious and does not reciprocate Helena's love for him. Next, Countess of Roussillon. She is Bertram's mother and she is generous. She supports Helena and considers her the perfect match for Bertram. King of France, a ruler who is cured by Helena and grants her permission to choose any man in the court as her husband. When the play opens, he is suffering from a debilitating illness. Bertram's father was his old friend. Lafayette, an elderly lord who struggles to understand the younger generation. He accompanied Bertram to France. Paroles, he is a friend of Bertram who tries to trick others with his deceit and boasting. He is a scoundrel and crooked person. This is Parole. Lafayette is a clown who serves as the Countess's servant. He is a gloomy, dejected soul. Diana, she is the daughter of the widow Capulet. She is courted by Bertram. She helps Helena in the scheme of fulfilling Bertram's condition set for Helena. Widow Capulet, she is Diana's mother. When she learns about Helena's misfortune, she agrees to help her along with her daughter. But she was not so happy with this. Now have a look at the themes of this play. Love and betrayal. Love and betrayal is the central theme of this drama. Helena's pure, unconditional love for Bertram stands in stark contrast with Bertram's frivolity and disloyalty. Next, separation and bereavement. At the very beginning, we found Bertram being separated from his mother, the Countess, and also from Helena, who loves him secretly. Again, throughout the play, Helena has to separate from Bertram till he accepts her as his wife. Next, gender roles. Helena is the pursuer of love and sexuality, subverting the traditional gender role of a conventional womanhood, shy, restrained. But here Helena is too much forward and desperate to win Bertram's heart. She is not a passive, demure character, submissive to her fate. She does everything to bring Bertram in her court. She talks about her love for Bertram and her virginity frankly. She wins her love and her dignity with every skill and trick. Next, marriage. Helena consummates her marriage by tricking Bertram into believing that he is making love with Diana. She secures Bertram's ring as well as his love. Social class. Helena is rejected by Bertram firstly for her lower class than his. Her father is a physician while Bertram is a count. But again we can say that Helena has a humble birth. She possesses, but Helena has true nobility and honor in respect of Bertram. So Bertram was by birth was a nobleman, but he does not behave like a nobleman. But Helena, who has a humble birth, she behaves like a noble woman. But Bertram refuses Helena for nobility. It is true, maybe, but I feel that Bertram is not interested in Helena. Because Parols, who is also from a very no class family, he became Bertram's friend. So Bertram is not so much conscious or not so much concerned about class in that respect, in case of Parols. Now Helena was endowed with king's blessing and wealth when Helena can cure the king. So then if Bertram was so much conscious about or concerned about class, then at that point he can accept Helena. Because now Helena is not from a very humble class. He is endowed with king's blessing. Okay, the next point is disguise. Like Shakespeare's other dramas, disguise is the theme of Helena uses to reach her destiny. He takes disguise of a pilgrim. You have to keep this point, pilgrim. Youth versus experience. Now Countess of Rosillion and Lefou represent experience, whereas Parols, Helena, Bertram, they stands for youth. The older generation, through their loss and struggles in life, gets mature. They hope for the younger generation to get mature and experienced through time, a time of trial and error process. Okay. Thank you. Next day we will talk about another play by Shakespeare.